Everyone, welcome to EOE Radio TV. We are back, you guys, with episode 5 of A Love Affair. I'm your girl, Miss J.
And I am your co-host, Miss Smiley, along with
the Sir Dog himself.
I can't stand him. I can't stand him.
Mercy. You know, I can't even talk right now. I can't even take it. I cannot take it.
So today
out there, today, but happy Mother's Day to everyone out there.
Yes, happy Mother's Day. I had a really great Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day to all the beautiful queens out there. The grandmothers first, and the great grandmothers they get the Mother's Day, and then the ladies that had the babies later should get the Mother's Day. See that?
So did you guys see all of the Facebook posts from, I want to call them the bitter man crew, where they was just hopping on and talking about it ain't Mother's Day for all the mothers, it's some sorry ass mothers out here, and there's all this horrible stuff, like really bitter Benjamin.
Who was that?
Just all kind of guys, like on Facebook. There were lots of Facebook statuses talking about, oh, Mother's Day doesn't need to be celebrated for all mothers. It's a whole bunch of trash moms out here.
Well, that's the same
all
these moms too.
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. They have a point, but yeah, there was so many people bitter yesterday. It was like totally ridiculous. But yeah, I was just like, well, it is what it is. You know, don't be mad. You chose to lay down with that woman you calling a sorry mom, so don't be upset right now.
I'm gonna say this with all due respect from the dog house. This your boy Sir Balls, the dog rock. What I feel like is this is yes, the spectrum is very split down the middle evenly. It just happens that men get the spotlight shown on us more than women. So for those who were negative, at the end of the day, she still got us beat by 9 months because she carried that joint. So she might be, you can call her what you want, but at the end of the day, she did what she did. You know what I mean? The baby here, bro. The baby here. You can't, she ain't giving it for adoption. She ain't putting it in the microwave. She ain't putting the trash can. The baby here. So you can't do that. You got to salute that queen, man. Salute to all the mothers. I don't care how you do it. You do it, and salute to you, 100.
Microwave and trash bag. I'm done.
Yeah, that's what he said. That's most definitely what he said. But okay. So we always kick the show off with announcements. There really isn't anything that's going on in our neck of the woods as far as business or professional goes, but I just wanted to mention, because I have so many wonderful things going on in my life right now. I am finally, Lord, thank you, about to have my home study for my adoption to adopt my beautiful baby boy. And I cannot be happier. So yeah, we're having our home study this week, and shit's getting real.
Well, you're already a mommy, but pretty soon you'll be an official mommy, even though you've been a mommy for a while now to him. But
yes,
once it's on paper, it's yay.
Yeah, you know, I mean,
Man, big salute to that, 100.
Yeah, he's been from the first day my son in my heart, in my mind, and in my soul. But we just have to legalize it through the course. It's already been legalized and blessed through the Lord, but you know how the world is. We got to get it on paper. And so that is all that I have as far as announcements go. Do either of you have any announcements you want to share?
I have absolutely nothing this time.
Well, I would do this since the beauty. Listen, I'm gonna tell y'all right now, little big faces here. I got 2 lovely co-hosts. One of my co-hosts, it was her birthday this weekend, and it's Mother's Day. She ain't had nothing going on. She knows she in the way. I mean, listen. First and foremost, let's give the beautiful Miss Smiley her flowers, her love. Happy Mother's Day before you get that. And then we got to tell you happy birthday, boo. What you ain't doing, man? It was your birthday. You want to be Shaq. No, you was laugh.
And I didn't even realize, speaking of birthdays, Mr. Bars, you and my mother share the same birthday, May the 3rd. I seen that. I said, oh, that's why I don't like him. Stubborn ass Taurus. Jesus, take the wheel.
Hey.
Yeah. It wasn't about me. It's always ladies first. It's always ladies first. Now, yes, my birthday was Tuesday. And yes, I enjoyed it from Tuesday to Sunday. Now, today's Monday, and I ain't gonna lie, the shenanigans haven't slowed down but so much. But, work calls and things like that. So, but it ain't about me, though. It's about Miss Smiley, her beautiful self. Happy birthday.
Yeah,
One time for the birthday cake.
Thank you
One time
so
for the
much.
birthday cake.
Thursday, single
Tuesday.
Hey, he playing my gym. You know I'm the Russian.
Did you say you're the ratchet one?
I'm the ratchet one. Hey.
How are you guys turning up for my birthday? And I'm not.
You turned down. I turned up for you. You gotta turn up. You know what I'm saying? We got you. Okay, you can live vicariously through us.
We got you. You live your life.
Thank you guys so much. I appreciate it.
Watch this, Miss Shay. One time for the birthday cake. 2 times for the birthday cake. 3 times for the birthday cake. Wait, Mother's Day for the birthday cake. It's your birthday. Happy birthday. Happy Mother's Day. That's it.
Oh my gosh. I'm just thinking about how prim and polite Miss Smiley is. I always think about that Saweetie verse on that Bitches from the South. I be thinking, she be thinking in her head, I call Michelle when I'm trying to get ratchet.
Oh shit. Yeah, y'all terrible. Terrible.
Anyway, moving on.
Moving on.
So we have a very interesting topic today, and I'm very surprised because no other than the Mr. Spitbars is one actually thought about this topic, and the topic is forgiveness.
I'm joking.
Hey, that was good. Cause Miss Smiley, Miss J say she don't do forgiveness. She ain't there yet. So I respect it. I respect the moves for the peanut gallery. I respect it.
Well, listen, like the past, because we've been pondering over this topic for a couple of weeks now. Miss Smiley had a couple of vacations and things, and I had an emergency that came up, so we wasn't able to tackle it. But like I said, a lot has gone on in my life in the interim, and I think that I would be more open to forgiveness, and I think that I may have kind of but like just naturally, like, nah, fuck all that. He does something that bad that you have to forgive them. I mean, I just have to weigh out the options. So I'm on the fence, but I'm more on the side of no, fuck that, I ain't forgiving you.
Okay, I'm gonna give my take, of course. And this was just from experience. I do believe in forgiveness. And I do, first off, want to say I believe that people can change if they want to. I'm not saying everyone does, but I do believe that people can change. However, I think a part that we do with forgiveness where we get burned is we believe when you forgive someone, you forget. And that sounds great in theory. But what happened to me growing up was when I forgave someone, I did forget, because to me, you said you were sorry. And that to me means you're not going to do it again. So for me, if I forgave someone, that means I forgave you, we're done. But what I learned throughout the years was people would keep doing the same thing over again. I forgot it, and I'm thinking we're done with it, but they would keep doing the same thing over, and then I'm getting mad. And I shouldn't get mad at anyone but me, because they're doing what they normally do. So for me, I am a huge proponent in forgiving, because you've got to move on. But what I don't do is I don't necessarily forget. Doesn't mean I'm holding a grudge against anybody, nothing like that. Just means that I remember what you did. We're all good now, but I can't keep letting it happen again. So that's where I'm at with the forgiveness. Like, for example, there was someone that I did not get along with for about 30 years. I'll put it that way. And this person has never apologized to me, ever. And they probably never will. And what I had to do was I had to forgive this person, because what I realized is that they were controlling me, because I was so angry. I was so mad. I was so hurt. And until I forgave them, even without an apology, I was still holding on to that anger, and it wasn't productive anger. They were controlling me, and they had no clue that they were controlling me. So what I had to do was forgive them. And when I saw them again, not too long ago, shockingly, even with myself, I had no animosity. I had nothing. I was in tears later on that I felt no animosity. But the thing was, still with that forgiveness, you don't need to be up in my face. Forgiveness does not mean we're friends. Forgiveness does not mean I'm inviting you over for dinner and everything else. Forgiveness in this situation was for me, not for them, because they never apologized in the second place. It was for me to move on and to let go of something that I had no control of anyway. But again, we ain't best buds. We're never going to be best buds. You're not going to be in my face. I remember what you did, but I'm just not going to give you the opportunity to do it again. And you go on about your business and I go on about mine. Okay, I'm done.
Hey, listen, I'm gonna say this for all the ladies that's watching and don't care how you feel about it. Mother's Days and birthdays, God is disrespectful. He did that at the same time for you, Miss Smile. This is wrong. Give you Mother's Day and your birthday at the same time? Jesus Christ. So, big shout to God and Jesus and everybody else there. Now, to this not in no way not take away, because what she said is 100. There are certain things you can do to someone that you can never get back from. 100. We could be cool, we could be cordial, but we can never go back to that that place where it was once was, depending on the line you cross. So I'm gonna give you the difference, and I'm gonna illustrate two different versions from a friend standpoint and a relationship standpoint. For me, in a relationship, the breaking point is you sleeping or talking to someone I know. Period. If I know that person, whether we're just acquaintances or whether we're homies, I can't forgive that. You understand what I'm saying? From a friend aspect, stealing, lying, or trying to deceive me in any way is no good for me. You understand what I'm saying? So now to give you a different illustration on the deeper inside in a relationship aspect, and here's my disclaimer before we go any further, because we all do it as humans, and I want to say this so there don't be no misunderstandings. When you first get done wrong by someone, the first thing you say is, man, fuck that person, they ain't shit. I don't give a fuck about them. They ain't nothing. I promise you this. I ain't talking to them no more. They ain't about this. They ain't about that. They should drop dead right there. That's how you feel in the moment. But in retrospect, when your adult side takes over and all that hostility and anger and being done wrong causes the fuck down, you sincerely do not feel like that. You're only hurt because you didn't expect someone that you have entrusted with your heart, soul, or whatever the case, whatever level of relationship you're on, you didn't expect the person to cross that threshold with you. So you feel like that because you feel like you've been ultimately betrayed. You feel like, I'm just speaking for myself, let me just say, I feel like that. I feel like, yo, if I give you Disney World, you can't come back and give me Warner Country. I ain't feeling it, bro. It doesn't make sense to me. You know what I'm saying? I just gave you a whole world, bro. You give me a park. You know what I'm saying? So, but however, being fair, sometimes when we go through things, we're blinded by, I believe, and this is just my belief, we're blinded by what we know what we would do up against the actions of the others. Meaning, we're mad really because what has happened, we didn't expect to happen because we wouldn't do it. So when a person responds in an adverse way, the first thing we do is, as the young people say, treat like the oh, that nigga in the way. I was like, Miss Sloppy, Miss J, don't call me. I don't talk to them no more. They in the way. And you're saying these things because they are genuine to only you. You understand? So meanwhile, when I'm talking to Miss Slotty about how Miss J is treating me, or I'm talking to Miss J how Miss Slotty treating me, y'all looking at me like, you'll be talking to that motherfucker next week. And you might be right. You know what I'm saying? You might very well be right. So forgiveness to me, right? And for those who don't know, I'm a scholar of the Bible. People don't know I read the Bible forward and back and forward. So I really know pretty much more about what anybody would believe because, you know, I have things in my life that don't make it believable. But I do know the Bible. And I can tell you right now, you can read the Bible front to back, Old Testament, New Testament, I don't care where you pick it up. The greatest thing of the Bible is love. It's unconditional, no holds barred. I don't care what happens to you. Love. And if you miss that in the story of Jesus, then you, and I'm not, this is not religious, I'm just trying to show you something of ultimate forgiveness. You understand what I'm saying? And for my street people that's watching, I'm going to show you ultimate forgiveness. If you didn't know, Ray Kwan shot at Ghostface's mother's house with him, his mother, and his disabled brother in the house. And they're on Wu-Tang today together and have 2 albums together. That's ultimate forgiveness. A man trying to take another man's life with disregard for his disabled brother and his unknowing mother. And they all cool, they are respectful to each other, they make money together, they dap each other, they love each other. So I ask you, no matter what you go through with someone, what is your level of forgiveness when you say, you know what? It ain't all that bad, bro. It ain't all that bad. Real talk.
For me, it is going to be different because we can sit here and say, I forgive this, I wouldn't forgive this, I forgive this, I wouldn't forgive that. Until you're in that situation, you don't know. I'm saying for the situation that I was in, and this is the most prevalent for me, it took me 30 years to get to a level where I can say I can forgive somebody. Because it wasn't just if I went into detail of all the things that were done to me, from lying on and stealing from and blah, 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 blah. It was a buildup. This wasn't just an overnight thing. So I believe I could forgive quite a bit because I know how wonderful it felt once I sincerely said, I forgave this person. That was like a load off of my shoulders that I didn't even realize that I was carrying. Now, you know, if someone hurt my kid, would I say I'm just going to forgive them? I don't know. Maybe I'd work. I ain't going to be day one. I can tell you that. But, you know, maybe that's something that work up to, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. I'm just saying that for me, forgiveness is necessary to get over certain things. And for me, it was to get over that, I'm just going to say, almost hatred that I had towards somebody. I had to forgive them without them saying sorry for my own benefit. Again, I ain't forgotten nothing. I'm not mad at them about it. Nothing like that. All I'm saying, as far as not the forgetting part, was I did forget before in the past. And the same thing kept happening over and over, because in my mind, when you forgive someone, you forget what they've done. It's done. If I say I'm sorry to you, sorry means I'm not going to do that again to you. That's how I took it when I was younger. That's not how everybody else takes it. So I have forgiven them. I'm not forgetting. I don't need to be bothered with them. I don't need them in my house. Just means that I forgave them for my own purposes and going about your merry way. But you are right. Everybody's level of what they will forgive, I think, is different. And for me, I could be the first person to say it's different for me as well. But I know it's somewhere that I would achieve to get, almost regardless of the situation. I think I would have to get to that point of forgiveness. I'm not saying it would happen in a week, a year, whatever the case may be, but I know I would have to do that, because holding on to that hurt and that pain and that anger and that hatred was terrible. It was really bad for me. I mean, nobody else knew that, just me. And I had to let it go. And the only way I could let it go was to say, I forgive you. Not to their face. I mean, there's some on my mind.
So let me just jump in here real fast. I gotta speak on what Spitbars said about Ghostface, the whole Ghostface situation. That's big. That's big of him. But that's some bitch shit to me. Ain't no motherfucking way you shooting at my mama house with my disabled brother in there and we shaking hands and we on stage rocking together. I don't give a damn how much money Wu-Tang paying. Okay, fuck all that. It's beef in the street forever. We ain't forgiving that. We beef out on site every time we see each until one of us dies. Okay, and that's just me. It's no, I'm not forgiving that. It's levels to this. Like I okay. The Bible does say forgive. You know, the Lord forgave us for our sins. We're supposed to forgive other people. We want to get behind those pearly gates. That is what we need to do. We need to learn how to forgive people. I'm just not there. And I pray about it every single day. But see, here's my thing. I don't ever feel like I'm in a position to have to forgive someone until they do something so devastating. Like little small things, like, you know what I mean? To me, don't want me forgiving somebody. You know what I mean? Like you really have to do something to someone I love. Like me, I'm strong body. Like anybody could do or say anything to me, and I'm just going to forgive about it. I don't even put myself in a place of forgiveness. I forget before I forgive. Like I'm gonna just forget about what the fuck you did and just erase you out of my life and don't even have to forgive you, because like there's no reason for me to forgive you, because I ain't never gonna fuck with you again. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like we're never gonna have any interactions with each other, be around each other, like anything. So I mean, why forgive you? I'm not even gonna give you that much thought to even like process like forgiveness with you. You know what I'm saying? I will cut your ass off real fast in a hurry. But those individuals that, you know, I can't cut off, like, I mean, I don't know, I guess you could say maybe did I forgive them, or like I don't really know, like, but I would never forgive someone that
Can you hear me? I can't hear you though. Can you hear me?
There we go. All right.
There you go. What happened?
So yeah, she'll be back. I guess for me in my situation was someone that I couldn't just ignore all the time. I could ignore a little bit, but I couldn't ignore all the time. And what made it worse, it was already bad that things were happening to me, but this person was also bothering other people that were close to me, which made it 100 times worse.
Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Right? And the reason why I wanted to use the word forgiveness, because I want to use myself. You know, so I like using myself as a good template. There's 2 issues in my life that I dealt with and I forgave. One might be on me and the other is not on me. You understand what I'm saying? So to be fair, in the forgiveness triangle, as you all know, I'm married or whatever the case may be. You know, I was going through something with a lady I was married to, whatever. And a couple of months ago, I had said some things against her character and her behavior that, sincerely, looking back at it, wasn't 100% true. You understand what I'm saying? So, like, now, some things did transpire in that way, but it wasn't the way I painted all the way through. You get what I'm saying? So, like, with respect to her, Cindy Wallace, salute to you. What I'm saying is when you go through something, a lot of times we kind of jump in the victim lane. You know what I'm saying? We don't never want to play the fair lane. We want to say, oh, this person did this, or this person did that.
Yeah, it's always the other person's fault.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And that's not fair. You know what I'm saying? That's really not fair. So now to expound even on what Miss J had said with the Ghostface thing, I understand what she's saying, like that's my mom, my brother. Well, how do we know that Ghostface didn't do something to that man to make him feel like that? We only know half of the story because that's the half we got. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like when you look at Jesus and everything he's been through, and again, not to make this, religious based on it, I just don't know no other magnitude or higher level to take it to. But it's like, yo, if someone is able to do something to you to make you feel some parts of them, and you know you didn't do nothing to warrant that behavior, then it's like, damn, maybe, just maybe, and this is just understanding logic, it's human logic. Not, we all may possess the same things, but not everybody knows how to use the same tool. So the way one might respond to something and the way you react to it may not be the same reaction as you respond to it if somebody else differently did it. Does that make any sense? Like,
yeah, I see what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
I think when you forgive, right? And Mrs. Smiley, I don't want you to forget nothing because you can't forget, because you have to use that pain as a template to see what you're not going to accept and what you're willing to work through. So you're right. A lot of times people do forget just so they can forget. Me, I'm like this. I want to forgive, but I also want to talk about it. I also want to know, what can we do so we don't travel down this road again? What can we do to make you or make me feel like we are what we need to be? You know what I'm saying?
And that's I believe that's what you should do with anybody. I tried that with this particular person, and there was just no point. And even my husband at one point was like, "Why are you even bothering?" type. And he was right. So for me, if I want to talk to you, I want you. Hey, let's talk about this, because if we talk about it, we're going to get it out the way. Then we can forgive for each other. Then possibly forget, because it shouldn't happen again. But again, I'm talking about the situations for me where you can't talk to that person. You're never going to get an I'm sorry. They're never going to acknowledge that they did anything wrong. That's when I had to forgive them, because I'm about to choke them out. that's when for me, that's when I have to forgive, because just the animosity there.
Hey, I'm gonna say this, right? And I ain't gonna say nothing else for a moment. Y'all too violent as shit. We gonna get some anger management classes going on here or something. Y'all violent. Something wrong with y'all. I don't know what we are.
I'm not violent. I'm not violent. And I actually just exercised forgiveness because the child that I was just talking about that was so near to me connected my internet, and I just forgave him for that. I didn't send him to Jesus. Like I just forgave. I literally just forgave something.
Did you see me look at myself in the mirror?
I really just exercised forgiveness, and I think I did a really great job at it as well.
Well, I don't know.
Now, there's different levels, kind of what you were saying. Like, if I'm in a relationship with somebody and we have an argument, and I actually said this to somebody that I was talking to, when we're arguing, whatever it is it's about, let's say disagreement, when you say, all right, we have a disagreement, we're done with, once we've talked about it and we're done with it, I don't want to hear about it no more. Because if you forgave me, you're not bringing it back up again. So forgiveness means not bringing it back. Now, if you do it again, then it's going to get brought up again. But if you were mad at me because I had a sock on the floor, and I never had a sock on the floor ever again, but every time you get mad, you bring up that I had a sock on the floor, you didn't really forgive me. So I think, it depends on that relationship with the person you're with. But if I'm with someone, or even if it's a parent or whatever the case may be, I do think we should talk about it so we can kind of get on the same page, if it's possible for you to talk about it. And then once it's done, it's done. I don't want to hear about it again. If I did something wrong and I said I was sorry, to me, saying I'm sorry means I'm not going to do it again. So if I haven't done it again, we get mad at each other. Don't bring that stuff back up again. Leave me alone, because now you're really going to get mad. I'm going to get mad. And I don't want to be violent, like Mr. Barr said.
Hey, I want to say this, right? Maybe and you gotta stop being violent. You gotta go to church or something. That nigga is terrible. Listen, man. Listen. Again, Miss J, it's you. It's you. You the real one. I know what you. Y'all be behind the scenes. It's y'all niggas. It's y'all. It's y'all. But again, you gotta see. I like how you broke that down, right? Because it was dope. You know what I'm saying? So and again, you know what I'm saying? Which much love and respect to the person I'm still married to, Cindy Wallace, what up? You know what I'm saying? It's like this. I'm going to do shit that's going to fuck you up. I'm speaking to y'all two ladies, and your spouses, or whoever the hell you are, right? You're going to do shit going to piss me off. 100% clear. Saying all that, right? At one point, or at some point, we're going to step over a line that we know we shouldn't step over, and that you shouldn't accept, and vice versa. You get what I'm saying? But when you deal with someone, and this is from a purely relationship standpoint, when you deal with someone and you really for that person, and you really all wrapped in that person, you're going to take more than you realize you're going to take. Unfortunately, the downside of that is you're going to give more than you thought you would give.
Miss J was not here for a second when she heard what was going on. Kind of what you were saying about, when we're mad at people, we kind of want to put all the blame on that person, and it's not necessarily the way that it seemed. So I just wanted to bring Miss J up to date on that conversation.
What did I miss? Somebody did something that it wasn't what it seemed like, and then who we talk about?
Basically what I said was, sometimes you go through things, and I use myself, and I'm gonna give you an example to make it even fairer. My wife, Miss Cindy Wallace, hey, I don't know if she's watching by this. Hey, I know she's watching this. So this is what it is, right? This is real shit. This is what Miss J wanted to do a couple of weeks ago. This is real talk. Do this, do that, do that. So look, when my wife and I went through something, right? I immediately jumped on social media, right? This is just my truth, and I'm gonna show you the difference in real forgiveness, right? I jumped on social media and I said some shit that was 90% truth, 10% all emotion, right? Now, to be fair, this lady has been in my daughter's life since my daughter was 3 months old. My daughter just turned 2 on the 27th of this month. You know what I'm saying? So whenever we went through had first transpired, I immediately jumped on Facebook. Like, oh, then she left my kid. She ain't shit. I just went in on the whole tirade. Like, I just went in. I started pointing all the negative shit I could think of. You don't comb my hair. You ain't braided in 2 months. Look how long it is. You know, I just went crazy. You know what I'm saying? Real talk. But literally within that, even within my anger and my emotions, I thought that was fucked up. Because I know for a fact that's not true. You know what I'm saying? That's just bars being emotional because we went through something personal and now I want to slander you and put the whole house on you so you can be like the Wicked Witch of the West and you can die and nobody want to talk to you no more because you're poison. But that's wrong because those are not true feelings. Now, I'm going to say this with my disclaimer attached. What perception is not reality. However, what we think at the moment could be taken as truth. That's a stand. You can't avoid that. If you know you've been good to your husband, he come on calls and argue, you're like, why are you trying to argue, honey? I just want to rub your back. He wants to argue. Right? So in your mind, what are you trying to go, nigga? Is you trying to go hang with your queen up? Because you're creating a problem where it don't have to be one. You understand what I'm saying? So basically, it's the adverse difference when the ball is on your side. When you're hurt, you want to be hurt to the 1,000th power so you can make the other person look bad. Nobody talks to that person and deal with that person, and you get all the sympathy and all the hugs and love. But that's wrong. Because in doing that, you make somebody else something they truly are not. And I'm going to say this with respect, because my daughter involved in this 100%. My daughter loved that one. Go ahead. Good? I can hear you.
There you go. Sorry. I was saying that's a whole nother topic as far as, and I don't want this to sound bad, but that's a whole maturity type thing. Because I know when I'm upset, and this does not mean I'm better than anybody, the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go on Facebook or anybody because I know my feelings are going to be different tomorrow. And I said this to Miss J today. She knows I did. I was not the best mood at all yesterday. That's rare. But I also knew not to talk to anybody yesterday. I also knew to keep to myself and stuff like that because I knew that the way I was feeling yesterday, and if I would have talked to somebody, all that anger would have came out and it wasn't them that I was mad at. So for me, I keep myself in check. I have to say nope. Or if my kid gets in trouble or something like that, I got to step back because am I really mad at what my kid did or was I mad because of everything else that happened at work today? So I don't think that's fair, but that's a whole different relationship topic on how to deal with when you're upset with somebody. Or I was upset with someone last week, as a matter of fact. I was very upset with someone last week. And go ahead.
With great respect, not trying to cut you at all. I think we got lost, and that's why I asked to interrupt you. The forgiveness topic is what you're saying, along with other things, is a different topic. I'm still in forgiveness because I was going to say this right here. The action still took place. It's the way I painted the action that was wrong. You get what I'm saying? So like the behavior is still there. It never went away, right? But it's like, do you forgive someone for doing something let's just make it clear, like, okay, maybe I made the problem bigger than what it was. That's just saying bullshit, real talk. Maybe I painted it bigger than what it was. So maybe the forgiveness, because now you make me think about something else. Maybe the forgiveness ain't for that person, maybe it's for me. Maybe I made it bigger than what it was, and it really wasn't that great of a deal, and I painted it way bigger, and it turned into something bigger. You get what I'm saying?
Up internally because Miss J is so quiet. I didn't know she's got a whole bunch of say I can see it on her face, and I'm just cracking up because she's got. I know when she gets that look on her face, she's got a whole bunch she wants to say. She's just letting us get all of our stuff out the way. So I'm going to be quiet because I want Miss J to grace our,
well, do me a favor.
Presence with what she's
before she bring it up. Do me one favor before she says anything. Let me run and get my charger right quick. I was trying to get it when I called Miss J. Let me get my charger right quick because I'm on 7%. So let me get my charger. I promise you, it'll take me 2 seconds. Let me just get that and I'll be right back on. Don't talk about the work. What's the sponsors? Who's our sponsors today?
Oh, I forgot. We didn't look one up, did we?
Boy, y'all terrible. Let me help y'all out. Don't be a beast. Get your shirt straight. I don't know what to say. I just do that as freestyle wire. I'll be right back. I'll get my charge. Hold on.
Jesus, take it. Okay. So, anywho, what I was saying before, my child that I have to forgive knocked off my Wi-Fi. Like, me and forgiveness, as long as it's not dealing with my child, you have a better chance of being forgiven by me. But that's where I draw the line in the sand. I don't play about my baby, period. And that's with nobody. So if you hurt my child or cause any damage to my child, and it's remotely intentional, ain't no fucking forgiveness. Like you're not coming back from that, but that's just me. Like, you know what I mean? So to each his own, no, but they do say, you know, there's a lot of talk about forgiveness. Yeah, there's a lot of talk about forgiveness in the Bible. And forgiveness is a big thing when you're in a relationship. And that, I think that goes towards the relationship, like keeping the relationship healthy or repairing the relationship. But the whole situation with children, that's a whole another ball game for me. So
I agree. It would take a lot for me if someone did something to my child. It would take a lot for me to and that's what I'm saying in the beginning. We can all say, I would do this, I forgive this. Until you're in that situation, you have no clue.
Sorry, I had to come in back on my laptop. Let me unmute you. What'd you say?
It was 2 of you. I was like, wait a minute, I just pulled that one off.
I came back on my laptop, but yeah. So Mars, listen, I have questions and comments. So, and I'm gonna test your forgiveness because we might come to a road here in a couple of seconds where your ass gonna have to forgive me because you know my mouth won't go and get no fuck. So I'm trying to process and I'm trying to understand what you're saying. So are you saying to us is that with your wife, the situation that you relate to the world wasn't as it seemed, and that is why you have chosen to forgive her? Because, you know, I'm kind of slow sometimes, but I was like, during our last show, I was like, who is that person in his background? I know that ain't who the fuck I think it is. Like, I was so lost, you know, but I didn't want to tell them who the fuck it was you, right? And but you know, I just, you know, kept going on with the show, whatever. And I said, this motherfucker really got her like in the crib. So, you know, I'm in my mind like, well, I can't wait to talk to this nigga like alone one-on-one. Like, we gotta be here. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just like trying to understand, like, were you that mad and in your feelings that you just like lied and said she left your 2-year-old baby in the house by herself, or was that shit like, oh God, that really happened?
No, okay, this is the truth. This is play-by-play, real nigga shit, no sucker shit, right? We went through something, right? I had left to go take somebody somewhere. When I came back to the property, everybody in her family, including her, was in the vehicle. But she exited the vehicle, and then her daughter exited the vehicle, and he went in the house. I never went in the house, never. But when I pulled up, everybody was already in the car. So, to me, my mind is like this. That baby at the time was 1 year old. You understand what I'm saying? If I pull up and see everybody in the truck, what's your first thought? Your baby in that truck, 100%. You ain't gonna think nothing else because everybody in the truck. The only reason why I knew that she wasn't in the truck is because her brother was in the house with the baby, and he made a statement, right? So now this is and it's still on my page. You can look it up. My page on Facebook. It's Spitballs on Facebook. You can look it up. So what ended up happening was I went on Facebook initially and went through blurs and crazy shit and put it up there. Literally 10 minutes later, though, I had to go back up there and digress. And I said, and I quote, and the video's still there, I never deleted it, it's still there. I said, let's be clear. She never got in the car, she never drove around the corner, she never left the baby 100% by herself. She never did those things, right? However, I still feel how I felt because as a parent, as I told her to her face, I don't give a flying fuck what's going on. If y'all niggas in that truck, she supposed to be in there with you, 100. So maybe in my haste, I may have painted a picture like it was this and that. But at the same time, I still came back, and that line was still there too. While I cleaned up and I saved face. But when I say ultimate forgiveness is because of this. The action is still there. You, your kids, and your mom got in the car. You never gave me a phone call to let me know y'all was leaving. I still, all of this is still doable. No sucker shit, no fuck shit. At the end of the day, though, I understand you was going to make bread, and you assumed I had to come return home, and you assumed I was going to go in the house, and you assumed things were going to be that way. But it wasn't, because I would really come back and drop bro off and then pull off. You get what I'm saying? Now, that's the fairness of it. My daughter was not literally left alone, and I can say on it. She wasn't left alone. She was, however, left in the care of a stranger to her for a minimum of like maybe 10, 20 minutes. Nothing crazy. And I was in the front yard. You get what I'm saying? So that's what I mean. Sometimes we get mad, and I'm going to give you an example. A woman can hit a man, and the man can directly respond. And the first thing she says is, he smacked the shit out of me. Whoa, 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 whoa. But you didn't tell the people you smacked him first. You get what I'm saying? Not saying that that accident happened, but maybe it didn't go as big as I made it paint the picture. You get what I'm saying? And that's the unfairness part of it. Behavior that action still happened. So that doesn't give you a pass, but I didn't have to paint it and make it as big as I painted it or made it as loud as it was. I could have maybe made some different. I don't know what I could have did. I'm just showing up being a better man every day and looking at steps that I take. It's not necessarily about the other person, it's really about me. And it's about knowing the person too. If she's been that baby like since she was 3 months, can you honestly tell me she don't let her baby real talk? That's real nigga shit. That's 2 years of your life involved in somebody else's life. You might have had a moment, you might have had a sin, but I don't believe none of it was malicious. And I'm gonna stand on that. I can't give her that because when my daughter's grandmother brought her to the store to see her, my daughter saw her, they saw each other, and it was like they were lovers. You know what I'm saying? They were like, oh, I miss you, I miss you too. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, come on, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, compassion gotta come with forgiveness. That's all we can forgive. You have to look at the totality of the situation. Don't look at the moment in which shit was fucked up, and now you're like, oh, it was fucked up, and then you want to start doing this. Look at the totality. And also, to be fair, that lady mom in the hospital, I was there for her moments. She was there, I was there for her. I had neck surgery. She was there for me. She did things that no other people did for me when I was fucked up. So it's the total package that brings true forgiveness in play. You can't look at one instance and say, I ain't fucking with that person no more. I ain't dealing with that person no more. Because anger and love are two of the things that make you do the most dumbest shit in your life. I promise you. Anger and love, you do some dumb shit behind both of those two emotions. And both y'all ladies are some beautiful women. And I know y'all in this dumb shit that has some niggas do some dumb shit behind y'all. Because you can't help it. When they love you, they go crazy behind you. And when they mad at you, they want to stuff you in the trash can, but they can't because you're more than careful. So those two emotions, they get you in trouble every time. I'm a man, I can admit it, I'm very high strung. And for a man with an aggressive voice and a nice physique, I'm very diesel, you know what I'm saying? I am emotional. I won't deny that. I won't take it. But I'm also fair. And that's real shit. I might not be fair at the moment.
I'm going to do you like I do my clients. Okay, so what I hear you saying is that your child was left in the house alone, but she wasn't alone because your wife was outside in the driveway. So you may have inflated the situation to seem like it was worse than what it was. And because it wasn't as worse as you initially projected it to be, then this is why you have chosen to forgive your wife for that act of indiscretion, because it wasn't wrong as you said before. Okay, bullshit. No, fuck that. Let me explain something to you. Because what I remember you also saying is when you had questioned her about your child being alone in the house, she made a comment, okay, about nobody has to watch that baby. Now, I mean, you know, you do what you do, you know, whatever, that's your business, but no, fuck all of that. I'm not forgiving that. That's my baby, okay? You got mad because I went out with your brother. You thought I was ducked off with another chick. You was getting mad. You was leaving. That's malicious. I'm a fucking woman, I'm telling you. It was malicious intent. She was pissed off at you. She was feeding off her fucking emotions. She left your 2-year-old daughter in the house and told you nobody had to watch that baby. I think you was lonely, and that's why you forgave her and took her back, okay? You should have went and got you some ass from somewhere the fuck else and kept it fucking pushing. That's what you should have did, because ain't no fucking way nobody gonna leave my baby in the fucking house by themselves. I don't give no fucks if you in the driveway. While you out in the driveway for 10 minutes, my baby could have stabbed herself. Some could have fell on her. She could have run out the back door. And if my baby could have choked on a fucking piece of popcorn. There is no way I'm forgiving that shit. That's just me. I'm just saying. So you may need to forgive me for my words. And if you don't, I don't give a rat's ass spit, okay? I don't give a rat's ass. I knew this is why you wanted to have this forgiveness show. Because I said, is that her in the background? Is that her in the background? I called Miss Molly. I said, I think I seen her in the background. Her that left the baby in the house, okay? I don't know. We need to talk to spit about this shit, okay? You know what I'm saying? I've been waiting to talk to your ass. And look, you got me ready to gas my motherfucker. If gas was $4.09, I would get in my car and come to you right now and whoop your ass myself.
Well, look, you gotta pull up, because at the end of the day, right? And I'm gonna show you shit that's gonna be mind blowing to you. It's some real nigga shit gonna fuck you up. You ain't gonna look, that nigga got that.
I'm just sitting back and I'm watching just to let you know. I'm gonna let y'all hash this out, because Miss J, can you hand me the bag of popcorn? Because I need that.
You know, Miss J and I've been doing this 2 years. So,
Miss Cindy, I don't care if she was asleep. I don't give a damn where she was. You got a 2-year-old child in the house by herself.
oh Lord.
That's what you did.
I love this shit. I love this shit.
Period. With a T on the end.
Listen, hold on. I want to say something though, because everything you're saying, and this is real shit. And Cindy, you can stand it. Her brother said this. Her brother was here. Her brother said the same thing I said. I promise you. Her brother was the one in the house. So, in great respect, right? Even her brother, like, yo, you tripping, like, you took it too far. But it's still even in that lane, though. It's still even in that lane. No matter how far we get, right? Somebody has to use you gotta hear me. The popcorn looks like it's real good right there. You gotta hold on. Like, you gotta wait. Because you have to know and still understand Oh my gosh. She does. Okay, listen, we ain't
The
doing
baby wants you more. I don't give a damn if the baby wants you more. You left her in the crib. She ain't old enough to know no fucking better. If she was older, she wouldn't want your ass. I'll tell you that. That's a 2-year-old. She don't know no better. She probably didn't get her ABCs.
neutral corners. I need neutral corners, please. I need neutral corners. That's what I'm saying. A man could beat a woman damn near to death, right? And she can forgive that. A man could, listen. We have to stop. We have to sincerely be real. I'm not talking about y'all. I'm talking about through nature, through time, we've seen it. We know it to be true. We're not going to do this. We cannot do that because that's not fair. 100. I was fucking Tina Turner ass up before she was Tina Turner. You understand what I'm saying? There are plenty of
Tina Turner was a grown-ass woman.
Hold up. That's a man. No, I agree with you 100. But you still have to know this, though. There are stories that if you heard are probably more horrific than mine, bro. This is the true forgiveness topic was about. Real talk. I just wanted to use that as a springboard to show you. No bullshit. The shit me and that woman would do, we shouldn't be where we was at. I'm being a man. I feel what you're saying, and I stand and I support what you're saying, but you have to understand, I also witnessed shit in my life. I'm 42. I've seen people go through shit now that don't even go through half the shit they go through today because they were younger, way much more inexperienced, and didn't know much. What I'm saying is this, right? And this is not a pass for anyone that's done anything lame or fucked up to any other human that lives and walks and breathes. But what I'm saying is, if Jesus can, and I'm not trying to make it religious, bro, but this is why forgiveness is real. Because a lot of times we ourselves stop our own blessings, not by the things we do, not by the things we say, but by the things that we don't say and by the things that we don't do. Everybody always want to be like they pristine and shine and clean up in front of somebody. And hey, I forgive that person. That person's cool. But deep down inside, that's not the truth. If God came to your front door and told you, Miss J, I need 100% of your heart. Unfortunately, under your own admittance, he can't get it from you because you can't forgive. So that 10% that's full with that shit you won't forgive, he need 100% of your heart, not 90. He need 100. So that 10% when you won't forgive, and you won't just say, damn, you know what? Miss J, I'm gonna keep it a band, Miss Smile, I'm gonna keep it a band, and Kelvin, I'm gonna keep it a band. All three of us. I've done some shit to people that they deserve to have it done to them. 100.
Where's my patrol bottle?
Your patrol bottle is where you left that. I can hear you. So what I'm saying is, you shouldn't. You have to learn the 360-degree angle of it all. Because at the end of the day, if somebody penalized you for something you did back in the day, you have to wear that. There's a nigga that loved you at some point, you probably cheated on him. There's a dude that liked you probably left hanging high and dry. There's a man that's probably good to you that you probably didn't deserve to talk to like that. Or whatever the case may be, a friend, a sister, or someone feels offended or slighted by something that you did, and that might not even be the case. Yo, my phone is fucking dying, bro.
I think what we're seeing here for sure.
Shit. Yo, that's just a 1%, bro.
I think what we're seeing, for one, is that what we kind of said before, everyone has their level of forgiveness, where they're going to forgive, where they draw the line, and that's perfectly fine with each. I didn't hear you.
I said my phone's on 1%. So I got it in the charger. As you can see, it's charging up. But it's not because I'm on it, so it's doing some bullshit. But keep going.
So what I think is everyone is at a different level. Even between the three of us are at different levels of where we're at. And I think what you're saying, Spitz, is that you've done things that you wish you would have that were wrong to other people, and they need to forgive you or will need to something basically. So in order to pay that forward, you need to also be that forgiving person as well. I also get where Miss J is coming from, and when you're dealing with babies and children, that's a whole different ballgame. So that is not to negate that, because I'm kind of like, well, wait a minute, I'm getting what she's saying, but I think the whole point again is we're three different people, and we have three different takes on forgiveness, and you have to do what's best for you at this moment. May not be the same tomorrow. You may, Miss J, I doubt it, may have a different point of view tomorrow. I know she's not. You better close them eyeballs up. But what I'm saying, and I'm saying that too, that my perspective on forgiveness was different 10, 20 years ago, because I was that forgive and forget. Down the line, I am that forgive. I'm not necessarily forgetting. So everyone's life situations, and I don't have the same life as you, Spence. I ain't seen nothing terrible like that, maybe. And I'm like, hey, let's just forgive people and get over it. But again, everyone's life's experiences are very different. So with that being said, you put something else in your mouth, Miss J.
You should have just called me if you was lonely. I got all kind of single friends. I mean, like, seriously? I am so disappointed. I am so disappointed. Okay? I'm going to deal with you later off the air. Just so you know. Okay? Just so you know. And stop acting like you frozen.
She talking to you, Mr. Bars, not me.
He frozen or something. He probably had to get on. He probably in trouble. He probably got all kind of hate mails. She get the fuck out the shower, bitches. Shit, I don't leave kids at home by themselves when they too, so I don't get no fucks what's being said. I know that. Okay, that shit's crazy. I knew that's what the girl. I'm like Cleo. You remember the Cleo, the psychic from the show? I said, Amanda.
Don't use her. She was fake.
Oh, what?
Don't use her. She was fake.
I can't. Girl did not call it. See, clairvoyant. I'm clairvoyant. Anywho, fuck all that. No, listen. Yes, you should forgive. The good book says be a forgiving person. It does. But even if you forgive somebody for their indiscretions, doesn't mean that you have to still be with them.
Well, and that was my whole forget part. That was what I was saying. I forgave this person. I don't need to be interacting with them. I don't need to see them. They don't need to come over my house. I don't hate them. I don't want any ill will. I do not hate them. But I don't need to interact with them. That's what we get a problem with, is we think when we forgive that means, hey, come back to me. No, it doesn't. I'm not saying that's necessarily for Spence either. I'm just saying in general, that's what we think, because that's how I thought too. I forgive, forget, we cool again. No, because you're going to do the exact same thing over again. Not everybody, but the people that I was dealing with did.
Because I don't want to know somebody that leaves children, 2-year-olds in the house by themselves. That ain't even somebody I can fuck with on a bad day. Like, okay, so let's move on to the next comment. He never said that. He never said what? Clarify that for me. And I didn't. So speak on what you know, what you hear. I don't even know what you're saying, boo, but I'll leave 2-year-olds in the house by themselves. So, and first of all, stop speaking on me, because I never leave nobody, and grow the fuck up. Girl. Is she funny?
Oh, Lord have mercy.
Oh, bless your heart. Girl, I'm going to pray for you.
Ladies.
You can't call nobody to leave a fucking kid in their house a fucking lady. So let's make that very clear. Okay? Period. And he said what he said on the show. Watch the video back, that you did leave a 2-year-old baby in the house by herself. You was out in the driveway in the vehicle. I don't give a fuck if you were sitting at the mailbox. You still left a 2-year-old in the house by herself. Period. Okay, and those are facts. And that's what he said. And that's what you did. So what are you saying? You grow the fuck up, mature up. And you a mom too? That's bad. Bless you. I'm going to just pray. That's all you can do for some people, is just pray for them. Don't be mad at me. Be mad at yourself. I ain't going to left the baby in the house. If you want to do what you did, wouldn't nobody be able to speak on your business. And your husband don't want to air your shit out. So have a conversation with him. Don't address me. Okay, sweetie. So anyway, the moral of the show is, I guess Miss Smiley and Spit feel that you should be able to forgive people for their indiscretions. Okay. If you want to get behind the pearly gates. You know, some people have to work on forgiveness, others don't. Forgiveness comes easy for some people. For most in these types of situations, I don't see how it does. But you know, whatever, to each his own. I just really think that Spit was lonely. I think the little girl that he was dumped off with, whatever, broke up with him or something, and he was lonely at the hotel and stuff by himself. And he felt like, I can reach out to her. I think that's what happened. But I'll have a conversation with him about that and just figure out, like, really what happened. We should have just hooked him up with somebody, Miss Smiley.
I'm going to stop yourself.
He wouldn't have been so lonely and making irrational decisions. Like,
oh, Lord have mercy. Yes, I do try to practice forgiveness. I'm not saying that that's easy. Hence me saying it took me 30 years. Okay. I'm not saying
and that was for less than leaving a kid in the house by themselves. That was just for her just being a bitch.
And messing with my husband and talking and speaking on yes.
You know, how different situations.
So that took a while. Children are different in that situation. You know what? I'm not even going to speak on it.
Girl, let your hair down. It's okay. It's okay. You can say what it is. You know, nobody gonna judge you, Miss Smiley.
No, I truthfully, I don't know the whole situation. I don't know if, I'll put it this way, if what was said, which was somebody left my child in the house and they planned on leaving, I would be ticked off and I would forgive you. We are not together. That's me. I say, okay, cool, you did that. And I'm saying if this is the facts, so don't come at me now. Because I can be rude too. What I'm saying,
hey, I'm not rude.
What I'm saying is, if the situation, I'm not saying this is the situation. I'm saying if the situation is I'm dating somebody and I have an infant at home and they're outside as if they are about to leave, I'm going to be ticked. We can have a conversation about it. We can apologize, hug. But as far as a relationship goes, there is no more, because if you're doing this with my child now, I don't know what you're going to do in the future. And again, if that's the facts, I don't know if that's all the facts or not based on this, and I don't know the whole story, whatever. I'm saying if that's the facts for me, I might forgive you, but we ain't being together because I got to put my child's best interest first. And we talked about this. That's one of the things. If I'm dating someone, I got to see how you interact with children, because if we're not on that same page parenting wise and what we do, I'm not going to be with you from the jump. No need in starting something because we're not on the same page. So that's what I'm going to say about that. If that is how it happened, then yep, I'm sorry, we would be done. Maybe have a sleeping buddy, I don't know. But we are not going to be in no relationship where someone's around my child. That's it.
Lord.
So, but again, I think there was still some, Spitz was saying there was a little bit more maybe that he didn't reveal, because I thought he said somebody was in the house. Did he say the brother was in the house? Because then that's
the brother went in the house and he's the one that found the baby inside the house by herself. And he came out and said something. That's how Spit knew, because he thought the whole time Desire was in the truck.
Oh, okay. I thought he was saying that somebody was actually in the house. I'm like, well, that just no avoids anything anyway, because if somebody was there, then somebody was there. But regardless, what I do want to say is, if Spitz has forgiven and he has moved on, then that is his right to do so. It is his relationship, his child, and his wife. So we do, whether we like it, you like it, me like it, that's neither here nor there. It is his life. It is for him. If he feels that's what he needs to do because of other things that have happened, then that is his right to do that. And I'll just leave it at.
Amen, sister. His life. All we got to do is pray for our dear co-host.
I can't stand you.
We'll continue to keep him and his family in our prayers, and especially little Desire. Everybody pray that she's safe. And that's all I'm going to say. But forgive, seriously, because if you don't forgive, you'll be carrying the weight of the world around on your shoulders. And it can be heavy sometimes. You know, you just got to let go and let God sometimes, you know?
No, that's absolutely. When I forgave this, and I'm just using this situation because this is the most prevalent, I think the worst that I've ever felt, like I said, almost hatred towards someone, and that's not me. When I let that go and said, God, I can't do this because I want to run this person over with my car, and that is not a joke. There is not one smile on my face. That was not a joke.
Why you ain't just use your gun?
I didn't have it at the time.
Okay, we're fast and easy.
Well, you know, I did, but I didn't care as much as I do. But, you know, anyone who knows me knows, you know, that's not, no.
She's a really nice person. She doesn't have those demonic thoughts like I do. I'll put your ass down in a minute. I don't get no fucks. You know.
But I was there at that point. And I was like, let me see you. Let me see you. Okay. And I had to really sit down. Literally, I had to talk. And I said, look.
He did say my brother was in the house. Oh, she feel like she got to keep explaining herself. See, people do that when they know they're wrong. No, we didn't. We watched the show back. Play it back, baby. Okay. You said potato. I said potato.
But I did. I prayed. I said, look, I can't. It was so heavy. Like you said, literally it was. And people say that. And I'm like, what? That don't make no sense. It was heavy. And I had this anger. And it wasn't productive. It wasn't doing anything for me.
Right.
And like I said, this person had total control over me and they didn't even know it. To me, that made me even more mad. Like, look, I'm thinking about this person all daggone day because I want to wring their neck. And they ain't giving two poops about me. How dumb does that make me? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I said, look, I can't hold this anymore because either I'm going to crack or somebody's neck's going to crack. So I had to pray and get rid of that. And when I did and literally said, here, I didn't even realize, and I told you this before, I didn't even realize it had happened until I ran into this person a while later. And when I saw this person, I had no animosity whatsoever in my heart. And I don't know if you can hear me or not, but when I finally saw this person, I had no animosity or anything. And I was in tears afterwards. And that to not feel that anger and hatred that I had, I was going to say no better feeling for others, a couple more, but it was just a wonderful feeling. And it was so much better than holding all of that weight around. But anyway, you're right. Let it go.
This was a really good show. So yeah, poor Spit. Everybody say a prayer for him. He's probably getting chewed out right now. I feel so bad for him. But we will be back on the show. Now, are you going out of town this weekend?
I will not know until Thursday. We'll talk about that.
Until Thursday, okay.
So I could be.
All right.
There's a
So we will be
possibility
back.
if it's not this weekend, it'll be next weekend. So I will let you know. Do we know what next week's topic is, or we need to discuss that? Well, I don't think that we know what next week's topic is just yet. It will be episode 6. It will be episode 6. I don't think we know the topic yet, or do we?
No.
Okay. So
no, I think we know the topic. So definitively, me and Miss Smiley will be back next week. We're not sure if Spit's going to be allowed to be back with us next week. But we are looking forward to seeing everyone next week to, deal with us in our mess,
And I will be here.
People, don't be fucking retarded for getting people to leave your house in the house by yourself. Huh?
I said, and I'll be here to facilitate such mess. I try to be the mediator, everyone, if you haven't realized that.
Miss Smiley's so polite, like, well, now. She knows she wanted to be like, bitch, you crazy. Y'all show motherfucking mind leaving that baby in the house by your motherfucking self. Somebody should whoop your ass. That's what she wanted. I say it for her. I read her mind, y'all. We in tune with each other, okay? Not only is that my co-host, that's my boo. Like, I know. Like, I read the eyes. Oh, girl, I got you. I told you she called Miss Jay when she trying to get ratchet. I got you, boo. Don't even worry about it.
I hate you so much.
Okay.
Until
next time, everybody stay well, stay safe, stay blessed, and we are out.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh, Jesus.